Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here planning for the week of May 12th through the 18th. Math is hard. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. For this week, I'm using this Dear Lizzy sticker book by American Crafts. It's super cute. It has some gold foiling, a lot of kind of like springy themes, stuff like that, and a lot of really pretty colors coming into play. I'm not going to show you the entire sticker book because that would take forever. But I'm excited to kind of use a lot of the springy colors, things like that. I'm hoping to pull that in. So for today, I'm going to use a lot from the sticker book. So first off, obviously full boxes are going to come from the sticker book, but also I am going to pull in, if I can find the right pages, I'm going to pull in this page for these cute little like Sweet Sunday, Motivation Monday for the date covers. And then I do have, this is like a Muji knockoff kind of pen that I've had for forever in navy that I'm going to put in the dates. I am also going to pull in, again, if I can find them. I have too many pages in here. I am going to pull in these today headers. So I'm going to pull in the yellow. And then I'm also going to pull in the red here because there's only 6. So that's not quite enough. So I think I'm going to alternate them along the top because I don't think, yeah, so I have blue headers here as well as this yellow, which is not the same yellow. So I'm going to use these back here for the headers along the top. The boxes are happy planner size, so they should cover both of the middle ones. And then finally on the bottom, I'm going to use this teacup washi tape. This comes from AliExpress from like 10 years ago. And then I'm also going to use this one, which I have not even opened yet. This is a Simply Gilded washi that has this kind of like turquoise background. And then soft gold bows. And then there's like little pink flowers also in the background. So I think it goes really well with the colors and the theme. So I'm going to use that as well. So my plan is to stick down the headers, the date covers, mention the date, like list the numbers, put down the bottom washi. I'm going to try to do all that stuff, and then I will be back so that we can do the interesting bits. All right, here's where we are at so far. I'll give a little wiggle and a twerk for the bottom washi, but I think it's looking pretty cute. For the full boxes, I think I'm going to try to just pull from the second half of this book, just because I can. So I've got these 6, and then I have these 6 here as well. I think that covers oh, and I have these 6. Okay, I've got a lot of choices. I think I'm going to use the Be Kind is Classy as my quote box. I think that seems pretty good as a quote box. If I can get everything lined up just right. There we go. That looks pretty cute. I like this one that says, I love your face. I think it's funny. So I'm going to stick that as the middle quote box. Ooh, it's not tall enough for 2 headers. Okay. I thought that this was going to cover 2, but it is apparently not quite tall enough for that. All right. I think what I'm going to do, I think I could use like these guys as my second set of headers. So I'm going to stick in ones that say remember, and I'm going to again alternate days for these. So I'm going to use the pink ones like so. And then the next page, I have these kind of like dark green-ish color. That's really pretty. I really like this color. So I think this will look pretty good. And then I just don't stick in another header after this because that's already going to make the bottom row kind of unnecessary. Okay, this one is slightly crooked and it's going to bother me because it's going to make the box slightly crooked. Okay, that looks a little better. I don't know why today is such a struggle. I'm trying to line up everything. All right, there we go. I think that's finally looking good. Moving back to the rest of the boxes. If I can find them. Okay, so that got me 2. I think I would like to try to get in quotes on these ones. So I have this live today. And then I have fine little day and hooray, it's today. I think I'm gonna stick this one in here. If I can get that to line up. There we go. And then I think I'm gonna use the hooray, it's today over here. There we go. And then I need 4 more boxes. I kind of want to use this little like town scene and then I kind of like could go with that. We could use like these little birds. I feel like they're scaled kind of similarly. So I think I'm going to stick this one here on Monday. And then this one here on Sunday. And then for my last 2, I feel like I should use something a little smaller scale maybe. Got like, I really like the little bunnies, but then I need to find one that goes with the little bunnies. Maybe I'll use this like all yellow one. That seems bright and cheerful. There we go. And then I'm going to do like the little bunnies. Stick that right here. Okay, that actually I think turned out pretty cute. Moving on to the sidebar. I don't have any of my like regular sidebar stuff that I would typically use. So that of course makes everything a little bit more complicated. For this kind of thing. I do have some checklists that only have 5 in them. So I could just worry about like weekday meals. None of the headers really say like meals, so that's also a concern there. And then I do have like these today guys. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, maybe I'm going to use one of these actually. I think I'm going to use the bright yellow that just says today, but I'm going to use it for my meals. So I'm going to stick this down. And then you may have noticed I actually switched pens to the Uniball Signo in this blue-black color because the other pen was just not working. So I'm just going to fill in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like so. I think that works out pretty well, and that covers that stuff. And then I could stick in like a to-do list. I could stick in one of these tags with a bunch of lines. I I could just stick in a quote like wild and free. That one probably fits. Some of these are a little wide and therefore won't fit. I could stick in one from this half. Could put in one of these. I don't know why I'm like so stuck on how I want to fill in the rest of this. For these purposes. All right, so I don't like strictly need this for functional stuff, so I think I'm just gonna not use it for functional stuff. Because I kind of just don't feel like it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this wild and free because I don't get to use these giant quotes very often. But I think I can make it fit if I line everything up just right. All right, there we go. I think that looks cute and I'm just gonna go with it and put that there. Moving on to the daily plans. Sorry, you can hear my cats being loud in the background. They just got fed, so they're very excited about that. For the daily plans, the big thing is I obviously have work every day. So I think I'm gonna use these little flags to mark work. I think that's kind of like a good amount of space being taken up for this week for work. So I'm just gonna stick down the first half of the week for now. I'm gonna skip the navy one here because I think that's too dark to easily write on. Okay, none of those are perfectly straight. This one is the most egregiously terrible. So I'm gonna try to fix that one at least. I'm not sure why this is so difficult. All right, we're gonna call that good. And then I do need to fit in my plan with me here. So for that, I think I'm gonna use, if we flip back here, I can use one of these guys. What color do I want to use? Maybe I'll pull in a red into this column. I'm gonna stick that like so. I don't mind that the star just goes whatever direction. I think that's fine. I think that's the only thing I've got for Monday. It's my cousin's birthday, but that's fine. Tuesday, I have nothing planned. Same thing with Wednesday. This is kind of the consequence of summertime. I don't do that much, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna stick into here. Thursday and Friday, these guys. And then I do want to stick in whatever my video is going to be. I was going to use this navy, but it doesn't have a gold star kind of situation or star at all. Does it? Yeah, no, it has hearts. Okay, I could do the lime green for my video that goes up that day. I think that's gonna be my Aura Estelle personal planner setup, but don't hold me to that. By the time you see this, you're gonna know what that video is. And then the weekend, I really have no idea what's going on, and I don't think I have any, like, this is the weekend kind of banners. Yeah, nothing like super obvious in here for the weekend. I don't think anything air either. Yeah, no. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. One says Saturday, yay, but that already says that. So I think it's gonna be good to go for my pre-planning. So this is what I've got right now. I give a little wiggle and a twerk, and then stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here's the finished spread. I'll give it a little wiggle and a twerk. There is a decent amount of foiling overall. I'm obviously not going to flip through the entire sticker book because that would be exhausting, but know that I used the sticker book and I think I used it pretty effectively overall. And that sticker book is from American Crafts. It's a Dear Lizzy sticker book from there. And mostly that's all the stuff that I use. The exception being this little pen. The little numbers as well as these letters down the side here are from a Uniball pen. The bottom washi, the little teacups, is from AliExpress, and the other one is from Simply Gilded. I actually really like kind of the vintage vibe of this particular washi on the bottom. I think it's really cute. But otherwise, I really just used the kit and or the sticker book, and I think it was a pretty interesting challenge to try to figure out how to fulfill things when I don't have a traditional setup that necessarily looks like what I might usually have it look like. But I think it turned out pretty good. So I think that's all I have for today. So as always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. If you don't have anything that you want to leave down below, leave me a bunny emoji. There's a lot of bunnies in here, and I just think that they're really cute. And I would just love to hear from you and see some bunnies in the comment section. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. I show in progress and finished spreads. I tag the shops on Instagram, put the shop names in the alt text along with the description on Blue Sky, as well as show you bits and pieces in my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.